were able to make it, just kind of continuing the conversation. We'll be doing that every Sunday until our event, which this month is in 3 weeks. So we hope you can join us. We will be talking about the matrix and the astral realm and what the difference is between the two, if there is a difference, how we incorporate that. We were going to talk about that today, but I think we're just going to let spirit take us wherever it takes us and see what comes up. All right. Does someone want to start us off?
Well,
Okay.
shit, let's go.
I was going to get into the fact that everyone's frenzy right now is on the news, the whole disclosure thing, the news, the everything of the everything. And it's like, are we going to do this again? Have we not had enough? Can we not see
running
that
back
it's
to
got
the
us?
drip feeder for more information from the
We're out
same
here.
source that's withholding it the whole time? Yeah.
We're out here spinning wheels, folks. Like, what are we doing this for? Are we doing this so we can really get back to God consciousness, or are we doing it so we could just fall back to sleep again? Like, are we not done with the hamster wheel of it all?
Well, some people want, vindication. I think that's what it is. It's be like, ha, I was right.
Okay, now
That's
you
what
were
it is.
right.
Can I be honest? I'm one of those people. I'll take one of those
So
people.
Okay, so let me pose it to you then, Corey. Like,
You're real.
now
I'm
we're
one of
right.
these.
What's the next step? Now you were right.
Move the fuck on and go about your life. That's it. Like,
There we go.
again, honestly, Shem, that is the real question. It isn't even the disclosure, because that's coming. It's coming. Everything is gonna be revealed. All that great stuff. But the day after that, then what? Like, is that gonna put you in fear?
Right.
Is that gonna put you in empowerment? And so, what we as people who are kind of ahead of the curve and already understand the construct and the different realms and all the stuff, for us, we should be teaching people, okay, cool, this is coming, but it should not put you in fear. It should put you in empowerment. Meaning
arming them with the truth.
Arming them with the truth, but
Yeah.
also arming them with the understanding that none of this has any bearing on the experience you came here to have. It's just part of the experience you came here to have. And there once was a time where all the realms were open. So this will be a time that you already have experienced, because you've experienced that time too. We currently exist in all these time periods right now. So for most of us, from a soul level, it won't be any different, because we've already experienced. We're already experiencing this when the realms were open. And then two, just like Shem said, if you are not where you're not actively seeking to raise your level of consciousness as far as your level of awareness, if you are currently doing that, then this becomes just a talking point. It becomes a matter of fact, this happened, and that's it. I mean, that's how I personally look at it. But I am definitely one of the people that's gonna be like, I told you, dumbasses, that this is coming. Like, I'm definitely gonna do that.
I hear you on that.
Because there's too many people talking shit. Like,
yeah,
just real talk. There's too many people saying, oh, that's this and that's not real. And you don't know. Like, if you knew, then we wouldn't even need disclosure if everybody knew the truth.
Right.
But you're combating disclosure based on what you know, which is all based on lies, deception, and distortion.
Right. Yeah. Even the things that you went and sought out on your own, that you're like, okay, this is the truth. Well, do you know it's the truth?
Do you know that's
or
the
do
truth?
You just feel like it's more true than what you knew before?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like, because a lot of things that you might be, you know, standing on right now might end up being a little bit different too. You know, so.
But I just want people to see it with their own eyes. Like the day put an alien on TV and say, hey, this is Mogwai from fucking wherever. I just made that name up out of nowhere. I don't know where that came from. But this is so and
Isn't that what the
so.
little fuzzy gremlins were
And
called in the movie?
no, that's
Or Mogwai or something?
Mogwai.
Yeah.
But
You know, Corey is channeling names now.
yeah, you know. But I think I personally think the first beings that they're gonna reveal gonna look like us. Like I don't think it's gonna be. I think they know the little gray men. We kind of, we understand that, and I don't. There is a thought that those aren't even beings. Those are more so futuristic, kind of like bioorganic robots made by the beings that look like us, and so they do the jobs that the other realm 2 beings don't do. So that's again, I didn't see that. I don't know that.
Takes flesh suit to a whole new meaning, huh?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Because if we could build AI, what do you think their AI is? If we could build robotics, what do you think their robotics are? Like they're way more advanced technology wise than we are currently in this experience. So if we can build robots that can run around and kick garbage cans over, then what you think they can build?
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Real.
Well, you know what? It's actually funny because this kind of like raises lot of questions that are I'm supposing some people may have asked themselves, but many may not. And as much as you want disclosure, what if I told you that part of disclosure would be beings that are you family that you didn't know of, and the lifestyle has nothing to see with yours, and you have a choice to just just live with them the way they do, or remain the way you are. Are you even ready for that? Are you ready for, let's say, okay, you talked about garbage and stuff like that. What about society where there's no garbage? Because guess what? They don't eat. They don't need to eat. They don't need to shit. They don't need to create rubbish.
none of that. Yep.
They more so about their consciousness. What if this is the thing with disclosure? We have to be willing to see every concept possible, every aspect of it possible, and that's what sometimes I'm just like, do I really want to know? Do I really give a shit? Truth is, I don't not much.
Yeah.
Because whatever's gonna come my way and I'm supposed to experience, I will anyway. But at the same time, it's like we always view this thing from our own limitations. How it's gonna look like, the Epstein files, and always, someone's gonna have to pay for it, and
and then nobody's paying for it.
Maybe nobody will.
Nobody is paying for it. Right?
Be like, oh, by the way, it was just, again, we all wake up, and so we have to be, I think, willing to allow this to come into our lives now at this point, because I keep on hearing these things about, and that's why I was mentioned vindication. There's nothing wrong to feel that way. There was a part.
Oh yeah, I mean, I gotta be honest with myself.
I felt like vindication. But
because there is a amount of time where you've been like called horrific names,
horrible stuff.
disrespected,
disrespected
because you dared to have an opinion that didn't align
go with the main
big old dumb doo face.
And more witch. I mean,
witch. Oh, listen, witch, warlock, demon possessed, all that shit. Yeah, I gotta get my leg back for all that.
So just to continue on that thread. So the reason why I'm saying this is because I wanted to kind of allude to the idea of the matrix and coming out of the matrix, and the idea of, for some people, call it astral traveling, others saying, out of body experience, whatever you want to call that, and obviously the whole entire construct. And the reason I was mentioning this is because think of a world where we are in full control. We, there's no more the they, it doesn't exist. And I'm really wondering if people are prepared to even, be in that type of environment. And the reason for that is because if you wanted to dismantle anything right now, so you would start by the food supply. You would say, okay, the only reason why we're going to work because we have to feed ourselves. That's one of the saying people say. What if you don't need to eat? Some people out there, I kid you not, They don't eat. They don't need
Yeah.
to eat food.
Breath Arians, yeah.
Thank you, Blessed. What are you willing to become this? Because I kid you not, if none of us eat, these whole things crumble. All of it.
Yep.
No exception. And my point is like, okay, disclosure, but look what's coming ahead. And I'll say, you know, prepare yourself for these rather than whoever was on these files.
Right. To me, it's like it is a distraction. It's just, and of course it is, but it's so ultimately inconsequential to everything else that's going to have to be revealed and done and or let go of in order for this to get to a point where we're all in the good part, if you want to put it that way. I like putting that. Yeah, it gets the point across. But you know, yes, okay, there's these files and there's this and there's that, and you know, there's April Fool's Day moon launches and all of this stuff. You know, like all of these things, like yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah.
But all of these things need to be revealed, right? And that's cool, but don't get stuck on the, like, I hear you on the wanting to be right thing, like from my own perspective, because I got called all the fun names too, and had people think I was just the biggest dummy. But I've almost, like, there's still, I'd be lying if I said there wasn't just a little part of me that'd be like, yeah, I know. I know.
Yeah.
You don't have to say it. I know.
Oh, it's gonna be some I told you so from a lot of people.
Right. but mostly, I don't even care. I just want them to catch the fuck up at this point. You know, like, I don't care anymore. Just get up here so we can move on, please.
Right.
You know, like that's overriding my desire to care about being like, told you so. Mostly.
So I am 50-50 with you on that, Bliss, and I'm a challenge you on that. And people who think
Please
that,
do.
And the only reason I'm doing it is because all of it, every little piece of it is part of the experience.
True.
You should enjoy all. The problem becomes when this disclosure thing causes you to worry and be in fear and all that stuff. You should be watching this shit like you watch a TV show. When you watch a TV show, you ain't in a hurry to get to the end of it.
Right.
You enjoying oh shit, they did this. Oh, they did that. You one of my favorite shows back in the day. Not even back in the day, but like a few years ago was the joint with Kevin Spacey.
House of Cards.
He was the House of Cards. I love that fucking movie.
House of Cards,
I love that fucking show. It literally told you everything that's happening right today. Like the whole thing.
Yeah. Bonham.
Fucking the Dominion machines. Literally, our voting machines are called Dominion. They literally showed you how they go regular election, all this other shit. Hilarious. So art imitating life, whatever. And every episode, I would sit there and be like, "Oh shit, they about to do this. This about to happen. That's about to happen." I ain't realized at the end of the show they was gonna cancel it because Kevin Spacey is a fucking pedophile. I didn't know that. I shouldn't say that. He's an alleged pedophile. I don't know that to be true.
There you go.
But there you go. So
covered our legal bases.
Cover my legal bases. Yeah. So allegedly. But my point is, I didn't get caught up in how the show was going to end. I'm just enjoying that part of the show for that episode, which brings us back to how we should be experiencing this experience, and it should be as a present moment, right?
Right.
And because on the other side, we only live in present.
And I can speak to your point back at me.
Yeah.
So people are enjoying their experience, and you shouldn't want to rush that. They shouldn't feel like they need to rush it or whatever. Likewise, on the other side of the coin, if you want to say like where we're at, where a lot of people are with their awakening process, you got to resist the urge to be like, come on already.
Yes.
Like,
the only people that want to skip to the end is us, because we know what the end is.
Right.
But you got to remember,
it's like a blessing and a curse.
We are a small group.
Yes.
When you look at the total population, which I'm not sure, I believe it's 9-10 billion people in this place. I don't know if that's true. So with that being said,
there's no.
How would you know? The truth is,
people need to ask.
People need to ask themselves the question. No one came to me and asked me anything.
No one asked me nothing.
Right.
I ain't did no sense.
So when you do a survey,
I ain't done none of that stuff.
No. Well, what the fuck?
And to your point,
what did you get that from?
If you use their own numbers, it doesn't add up. Like
Right.
people add up the like 100 most populated cities in the world allegedly, right?
Yeah.
And it's like not even a fraction
Not even a
of
fraction
that total.
Right?
It's
So-
like, well,
Exactly.
okay,
Right.
are they all out just hiding in the woods somewhere?
So
Like,
I say all that to say that whatever the population is, even a smaller portion of that are people like us who've awakened, and that's kind of the point
Right.
of what we're doing here, is to help more people awaken. So
right,
you can start living outside of fear and worry and doubt, and just start living in the present moment.
right.
So
It's just a ride.
that's the only reason I would challenge you, Bless, because I agree with you. Because from the perspective of me, you, and the people on here who know what we know, hell yeah, come on, man, hurry up.
Right.
Like, just go ahead and get this shit over with. Like, what are we doing? But for some people, and it's funny because somebody asked me that in my live, they asked that, and I think we talked about that in my last live. They was asking about why it seems like the disclosure is happening so slow. And I said, well, you got to understand, it's the same reason they tell you don't wake up a sleepwalker,
Yeah, I like that.
because
I
they'll
remember
fucking
that.
go crazy and tear up your house. Well, imagine, say it's a 9 billion people, whatever, and just 2-3 billion of them get woken up like that. You talking about, you could be, and I'm not saying it would be this because I don't know. You could be talking about instant chaos. You could be
Yeah.
talking about people saying, fuck this shit, I'm out, and ending their life, and souls, more souls are leaving this thing than are coming here. I know that to be true.
Right, doing the 20-meter sprint off a tall building
Correct.
together.
Correct. So you kind of gotta do the drip. It kind of has to be the drip for the people who still asleep.
Yeah.
For us, we fully dripped out. Like, we good. Like, you done
Right.
already poured all of the medicine in us, and we awake, like, all the way. Like, hey, nah, this is all bullshit.
Well, and if you're honest with yourself about it, like if I'm honest with myself, like there were moments during my own awakening that were like not terribly pleasant or comfortable.
Correct.
Or, you know, like I remember one sleepless night, especially, where I was just like, that's it. I hit the bottom of Pandora's box. Somebody knows I went too deep. They're coming. Where are they?
Yeah.
Like being all paranoid. And
y'all know my story. People know my story. I was ready to get up out of here, like, for sure. Gone. Like, I wrote the note. I already had the plan. I'm out, bruh. Because this shit, once you know what you know, it's like, fuck this. Like, what? This is like a bad dream, and I know I can wake up from it and be God again. So I'm out.
right. Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So this is why you kind of have to, like, this is also why you'll see most, well, I know from I won't say most, I'll say Darius and our group of people that was with him, this is why they don't go too deep into all of these details and all this stuff, because a lot of people can't handle all of that.
Right.
Like, a lot of people can't handle that first experience coming out their body and being like, wait, what? You mean to tell me this ain't it? And so you kind of gotta drip it. Because people are fed up with the current experience.
Right.
You overload them too much, they might be like, fuck this. I'm out of here.
I don't know if y'all caught Shem's channeling on I Am Shemo, talking about we're fed up. And I think that's just the collective right now, at least in this community. Like, people are just fed up, and it's just time. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's people fed up.
Where did that come from? Because it felt so
100%.
when I heard
people
that.
Fed up.
Well,
100%. I feel like the thing is, a couple questions came up with the whole fed up thing. Yeah. Number one, even if you are fed up, how fed up are you? Are you fed up to the point where you just want, and this is beyond vindication, do you want a vendetta now out of all of this? Are you out for the same blood that you claimed that was spilled and was so egregious? Do you want the same thing to happen to them? Which means pressing repeat on something that is already old and outdated, and you're claiming you want to get off the loop, but you want to set the loop again, as long as you
on top of the
back
loop.
and
It's like wanting to get
what
the
are we
last
saying
word
here?
in. Right.
It's that, but you're not going to, because now you're pulled back into that same loop. So where are you going to inject the love? And this is the whole thing where I'm talking about love and light. Okay, all right. believe what you want, say what you want, and it's not egregious, but how much of that love are you applying to that? Or does that only apply to the parts that you want of this?
Is it unconditional?
Because if it doesn't, is it unconditional? Because if it's not, we're back in a loop.
Yep.
Well,
we're still under distortion.
You're still under distortion.
Talking about the loop, once I mentioned, reverse disclosure, stop getting trapped in it's like a reverse psychology. So I'll give you an example, because you did mention like how many people are on this earth, and we don't know. We just talked about this a minute ago, and my point about this is, what if everyone is awakened now, because we can't verify how many of us is. How many of us are. You can't really verify that. You're not sure. You won't be sure. And I mean, worldwide, right? And maybe it's bigger than what we think it is. However, even if it's a minority, it could be also a situation where, let's say, with 20% of the whole entire population in the world, perhaps it's the 20% souls that are there, and the rest could be NPCs and are never meant to wake up. And the truth is for us not being tricked, the one who think we are like workers to try and awaken people that are meant to wake up anyway, because maybe they're just NPCs.
Well, that's a big part of the awakening process,
and not being trapped in these ideas of, it's like almost a self-fulfilling prophecy. So basically, you still stay in that system where you think you have an amazing, great work to do to wake up the whole entire planet, but the planet is already awakened. The one are supposed to be awakened already are, and there's nobody else to awake. And perhaps for us to have that self-realization, that's what ultimately mastery will be. Oneself that has to basically master that, like to be in its authentic mastery. Like there's nobody else to. You can only do it for yourself, what I'm trying to say. And until we understand that, because even now, for these, all this talk we have, part of me is thinking, whoever is meant to understand that will, and whoever is not, even if it's in front of them, just won't. And for all I know, that's just what it is. That's the whole point. Until we understand that, you know what? Because the light goes dead. And the games we play for us with ourselves goes deep. Like if you're a very advanced soul, let's say, I think all souls are advanced, but I'm just saying, like, if the soul is that amazing, then it wouldn't be far-fetched to think that perhaps that's how deep we putting ourselves in amnesia in the game. So we can run this whole idea of awakening in the first place.
That reminds me of how it is when you're awakening on your own. Even just the initial stages, you'll hit a point where you're like, you want to run around and like, hey, like you want to shake people awake because you hit that stage where you're like amped up about it, but then you realize it's not for them. You're having your journey, and it has nothing to do with that. Like unless they're part of your journey, but they'd show up that way anyway. You don't have to force anything.
Exactly. And the reason why we're saying that is because, think about it for a minute though. Why do we want to awaken? What's like, if you ask yourself, you say, why am I doing all of this? What's going on? What is it for? Ultimately, it's for better experience here.
Yep.
Because other than that, I'll go home from now. Like that could only be the possible reason. If not, I don't see why I would do that.
I'm glad you said that, Omandi, because now I'm gonna push back on what you just said earlier. If being awakened gives you a better experience, then why come the entire experience isn't better if more people are awake than we believe? So that's the only reason why I think people aren't awake. Because if it was, I know how my life has changed since I've awoken. I know you guys' life has changed since you understood the nature of the reality we are experiencing. Why is this whole thing not changing if more people know? Now, this is the thing that I don't think you need to have everybody awaken for it to change.
Oh, absolutely not.
I don't think that at all. I think it could be maybe the ones that are awake now is enough. But if everybody was awake, it'd be no doubt, because no way it would be no way this thing hasn't changed, because it changed for each one of us individually. So
yeah, I
that'll
see
be
what you're
so.
saying.
So I'm saying, if you get a whole, and again, I want to approach it just from a frequency standpoint. All of us are vibrating on a higher frequency. If you telling me a third of our population is vibrating on the frequency that we on, this whole thing should be different. Like, it shouldn't
I
be
don't
this.
even think it's
Yeah.
going to take that much of
I
us
don't, and
to
that's what I'm
have
saying.
to do it.
I don't even know if
I
it's
think
that
the whole point is
but-
that we meet those
Yeah.
who are doing this meet
Yeah.
and do it in concentration.
Got you. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
To like be of like, because the frequency would emit stronger. You'd have a stronger emit. You know what I mean? It'd be amplified.
Yeah.
But that's my point. This is why the awakening is a process. But maybe the whole point is like we not yet fully awakened. That's the whole point, and that is what's taking place. But perhaps everyone was meant to begin the awakening, or it's already happened. But think about it. Well, let's talk about the idea of reptilians. They say if that was your agenda, so you say, well, you know what? I'm going to work against these people. How would you do it? Wouldn't you make them believe that they're not all awakened? That works for the agendas, right? You will be like, okay, I've got to make them believe they're not all awakened and they need to do that work so that they, so you would always, it's the idea of making someone feel small.
Well, they used to do that with mystery schools and stuff. I mean, they do it today with religion and stuff still, of course, but a lot of the mystery school initiations, you could say some were legit or not legit. I mean, I'm not going to debate that, but like, why drip feed that? Why treat that like it's something you have to strive to get in order to be enlightened or whatever, like if you just know the baseline that you exist outside of this silly, wacky land, like that's enough.
But
that
is enough.
points to.
But if you think about it, that is enough.
Right. Because the moment you do,
especially when everybody just fears death itself, then let's just tell you, boom, it's not real.
Boom,
and two, you're
Right.
good.
Right.
You're good,
Exactly.
good.
So
How good? Really good.
But
so there's no point to
it
those
comes back
mystery
to-
schools and those graduations and all of that stuff. It's just there to keep you stuck longer.
Yeah, and then you know what, and it goes back to what you say once. You were talking about the whole point. I mean, think about it. The mere fact that you're talking about disclosure in itself, while we in an experience where you need disclosure in the first place, and Shem said that, and it's very true. And it's this whole loop people find themselves into. And even if you think you're a light worker, even if you think you're awakened, these are the type of things you've got to expand your consciousness enough to be like, hey, maybe I'm falling for it here.
Yeah. But let me ask you this then. Is it a cycle or is it just the script? The script we agreed to be a part of? Because the reason we all ain't waking up is because we agreed not to wake up until a certain time. Because if that was the case, we'd all have what we would have we would have came here awakened. We would have came here knowing that this is just an experience and that we got, and we would have known all of that coming in here. So is it part of the script that we supposed to be here in our forgetful state? Because obviously that's what we are. And that there would be for whoever souls agreed to that, there would be a point in which we would say, oh, whether it was through OBE, whether it was through meditation, whether it was through just research, whatever, listening to other OBEs, whatever, that those souls would cut off their worship gene, say, oh, shoot, I get it now, and then move forward that way. So I don't look at it as a bad thing. I just look at it as like the script. That is the script we came here to play out. Like it just is. And I literally, that has been my what Almighty said about going to those higher levels. That's what the higher level look like for me. Stop worrying about that shit. To be quite honest, it just is what it is. Like it is what it is. Like we're here to have an experience. Part of that experience is disclosure. We're reaching that part where it's gonna be some people like me that's gonna point their finger like, "Hi, I told you so. I still love you. I don't judge you and think you're a bad person, but shut the fuck up because I told you so." And then there's gonna be people that's gonna be like, "Oh, just go run crazy. Oh, I can't believe it's aliens.
We're all gonna die. Huh?
We're all gonna die. Independence Day." Like,
well, you've pointed it out.
It's both. I think it's the part of the script that is the cycle. It's the cycle.
It's the wheat and the tares. I feel like it's the wheat and the tares. It's separating the people who are going to react to this in a higher frequency from the people who gonna react to this in a lower frequency.
It's another opportunity, which
Yeah,
are
it's just
all of
opportunity.
those things. It's
Yes,
another
I like
opportunity
that.
to say,
I like that.
choice point.
What I was going to say, if you want to leave the metrics, one thing I would say, it's stop falling for these number and statistic and how many of us
Oh,
are
for
not.
sure.
And
For sure.
that's basically what I would say.
For sure.
Yeah, don't give your authority away to
Hey, man,
what they're
don't
putting
believe
before it.
nothing nobody tell you. Like, just to be real, like, don't even believe me. Go see for your fucking self. Like, just to be real, like, don't believe me. Don't, because then what happens? Oh, Corey knows all the answers. No, I don't. I know the answers that I was given, but there's other people that's been given. It's people I interviewed that had experience. They was given stuff that I wasn't given, and that's fine with me. I'm not in a place where I'm here to judge or compare what I'm doing with what nobody. I don't care.
Yeah, you don't need a dozen people following you around in eagle shirts like they're part of the cult of Corey.
The cult of Corey. That's how cults start, though.
Right, exactly.
That's
you don't need
how
that.
It all starts. Because, like,
all right. Sorry. Sorry, y'all. We got to move over to Zoom, but we're just going to pick it up right where we left this off right now. So,
oh, yeah. Come on over there.
So
come on over to Zoom.
Yeah, we'll continue.
And we're going to answer questions.
And it'll be open, and we'll go from there, and we'll go for about an hour. So,
all right, see you there.
We'll see you over there.
See you then.
All right.